Hello there, this is Rob with a follow-on video for the subject of Dragon Age, where we're going to be talking about the big main thing that gets you actually playing with the Age system, and that is the Stunts points system. So, in the last video, we looked at just the standard stunts that can be performed for general physical attacks. Now we're going to take a look, and I've got my handy reference of the Tier 2 book on me here, all nicely on the back, at the standard spell stunts as listed on the back of this book. Right, so if you are a mage and you've cast a spell, then brilliant. You have to dip in to these stunts instead. So, without further ado, let's just jump in, because the first video obviously explained the nature of what stunts are anyways. And you know, if you absolutely don't know what those are at all, I suggest you start back there anyway. Right, so spell stunts from the beginning. Stunt point cost 1 to 3. Puissant casting. Increase the spell power of your spell by 1 stunt point per point spent to a maximum of 3. So, that's handy, because a lot of those spells have resistance figures that resist directly against your spell power. Then for 2 stun points, you can go with skillful casting, and that is reduce the mana cost of the spell by 1. This can reduce the mana cost to 0. So that's nice as well. Number 2 is mighty spell. If the spell does damage, one target of the spell of your choice takes an extra d6 damage. I remember what I did with this when there was a spell cast that wasn't a damaging spell, and instead I just graced the mage, allowing him to have mighty spell as like an extra controlling oomph on it. He was doing Shape Earth or something like that, and I deemed, yeah, because he's doing mighty spell for that, then it will shape up in some sort of more stronger way, better control over the rock and all of this stuff. We have here, and that's essentially the mighty blow, isn't it, of the spells list. Mana shield. So that's for 3 stunt points. You use the residual mana of the spell casting to set up a temporary protective shield. You gain a +2 bonus to defense until the beginning of your next turn. Not to be underestimated, I would like to think that mages are going to use this a fair bit, especially Karak, when he comes under attack, because he's usually going to end up dead. But I'm not sure if he uses this that much. He very often tries to get out a second spell and that sort of thing, really. And we move indeed on to number 4 stunt points, fast casting. Right, so that one. After you resolve this spell, you can immediately cast another spell. This is the one I'm talking about, you see. The second spell must have a casting time of a major action or a minor action. If you roll doubles on this casting roll, you do not get any more stunt points. So, yeah, very often when it's like an emergency healing situation, he'll pop out sort of a heal followed by a heal, just to top everyone up. And then also for 4 stunt points, not just also, but finally on the list, imposing spell. The effect of the spell is much more dramatic than usual. Until the beginning of your next turn, anyone attempted to make a melee attack against you must make a successful willpower courage test. The target number is 10 plus your magic ability. Those who fail must take a move or defend action instead. So I suppose that's kind of fair game, being that actually mages are actually feared in this world, and indeed quite a lot of worlds. They are a cut above. They can put out extreme amounts of damage and do miraculous things. So it makes complete sense that imposing spell should have some place there in the game. So anyway, that's great. That's the spell stunts for all you would-be mages. And look out, because there's more videos of this kind coming your way extremely soon. I'll see you at the table.